Well, brother, I appreciate you getting on here with us. But
My pleasure.
oh, yeah, I'd like you to before we get started with it, I'd like to just to introduce yourself, to everybody as far as where y'all's church is at and everything, and give a little details about that.
I'm one of the pastors of the Grace Baptist Church in Springfield, Oregon. We started the church 19 years ago and coming up on 20 years this coming up May.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. So I just want you to kind of give a little description of, I know you've got some numbers there, and we've ran a couple campaigns for y'all. But I'd like you just to give a description of your experience with these digital track ads, and just kind of what your thoughts on are. And I know at first, and this is one of the reasons I kind of wanted you to get on this call, because I remember at first you were kind of hesitant, about doing it and everything. So I think you're a good one to be honest and tell everybody how it went.
Just got a message from GM Baptist Outreach. It's been a few months ago. I was skeptical because it came from what I thought was just a weird email, and there's a couple names. So I went and double checked and looked, and I checked with the wrong person. But we've been um, looking for something to go along with our soul winning. We are regularly out soul winning. We're knocking on doors. We're following up with people, and we're always looking for something else to reach people. A newspaper doesn't reach people anymore. TV ads, and so we're trying to find a way to get the gospel out to people, get them into church, and a great way to follow up. And this program solves all three of those problems.
Amen. Amen. Well, I know you've got some numbers there when it comes to like some of y'all's digital track campaigns for y'all's special days. I know y'all ran one for your teen explosion, and you ran one for y'all's Thanksgiving and Christmas actually. So,
Yeah.
you ain't got to explain all three of them, but just one of those campaigns. Give us some details of some numbers of visitors y'all have seen, and how it went as far as the ratio of people showing up afterwards as well. Yeah.
And so on our Thanksgiving promotion, we had 14 families. When we say families, each one's a unit. That's how we keep track of it. And so we saw 9 saved that day. And from that, we've seen some of those return. We've actually seen from our campaigns, in an off Sunday, which was the New Year's Eve, we had 5 different families in the church from these 3 campaigns. We ran
Nice.
a teen explosion campaign. What a great way to reach teens. We used to have somebody stand out in front of the high school and just hand out, these cards and try to get them in. And it's awkward. But what happens here is they sign up to receive a text. And so now we have
Amen.
a way to keep track and get back with them. And from that, we had one other family come back, one teenager. We saw a whole heap of people saved on that. Of course, we're giving away a car, so that would mean a lot of extra people will show up. But a
Yeah.
small price to pay to see 30 some odd people saved. And then
Amen.
the law
Absolutely.
of averages with anything on the internet, you have to keep a realistic expectation what a response and return rate is. If you have, say, 30 people sign up, you might have 3 or 4 come. And now, and if you have them more than that, you have to have realistic expectations of what return is. The software program isn't going to get somebody back in your church. Your follow-up is you're still gonna have to work. You're still gonna have to put process into it. You're still gonna have
Oh
to
yeah.
care for people. Okay, so our Christmas promotion we ended up giving a gift card to every family that showed up, a gift to every teen, and a gift to every child. Our response to this one was a lot larger than Thanksgiving. We think it was because it was a Christmas service. We had 84 families or individuals telling us that they're going to be in church. Of course, not all of them came. We ended up having about 40 families or portions of families show up for that. And
Amen.
through our 3 campaigns, we saw over 50 people saved inside of our building. And from that, we're still, getting people telling us, "Hey, we're going to be back." We're still, getting follow up. And it's given us a lot of people, a database. And so what we've done is we've used this program to help us regain our momentum. And right now, as a church, we feel like we've done that. We have new people coming in, and it's been a great help.
Amen.
And we've even seen an increase of people come to our midweek Bible study from these 3 campaigns.
Amen. Yeah, that's awesome. And just as far as just thinking about that, so like in a 3 months or so period, y'all ran these campaigns kind of back to back. When you really think about it and add it up between the 30 or so that came to the teen explosion, and then you got the 40 something units that came to the Christmas one, and 40 units, that can be, what, anywhere 40, 50 people, maybe even a little more depending on how much is in a unit. But when it comes to the aspect of it, just estimating, I mean, so y'all, as far as in the past 3 months, y'all have easily seen 70 or so visitors, just from running these campaigns. That's not even counting the Thanksgiving campaign one, but just between those two. But and 50 people saved. I mean, that is awesome. There's some churches that they don't see 2 people saved a year.
Yeah.
But 50 people saved, and that's amazing. And
Well, we're a small church out here in Oregon, so our budget's small. They tell us that some churches spend thousands of dollars per person saved in their church. We broke it down in our annual business meeting that it cost us less than $1,000 per person that was saved. That includes salaries, that includes building, everything, and this help us to be an efficient, low cost per salvation church.
amen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So when it comes to this digital outreach strategy, just this system that we kind of like get set up as far as Facebook ads with the follow up, just that system in general. Like, would you say that's something that's really needed for churches today? Like, do you think this is something that, like, I know door knocking is still, real. We go door knocking at our church, and I know door knocking is still just as vital, and I know passing out gospel tracts is vital. But as far as like having a digital outreach system in this day and age that we're living in, post pandemic, society where it's, kind of, getting more and more stranger where you're walking on people's property and in their houses. But do you think a digital outreach system like this is something a lot of churches today need? Like, would this be something you recommend that a lot of churches need to set up?
I have been door to door soul winning in some way or fashion for over 30 years now. Been pastoring the church here for 20 years, door knocking, regularly getting out. And I know this. We're still going to do it. We're still going to be out door knocking. We're still going to be giving out the gospel, but it's changed. Somebody coming to your door is a different animal than it was, say, even 10, 15 years ago. And so there's got to be another way into those doors. This digital program has made reaching inside of and behind those doors so much easier in a fashion that people are used to. We've combined the digital with some other promo. You can't just put this on your website and expect people to just, wander by your website and sign up. There has to be a
Yeah.
direction. And, that's one of the things that Brother Grovenstein will help you with, to put the right expectations to it. There has to be a promo. There has to be money put in order to get the name out there, in order for them to get to your website to fill out the form. And once you're there, the biggest help for me has been, I do follow up, but I always feel like I'm being intrusive. I always feel like I'm an intruder. And what this software does is it helps alleviate that problem. I would never dream of sending somebody a text on Saturday after I met them that week and said, hey, we're going to see you in church. And then the software is also set up to send them a text that morning reminding them, hey, church is starting a little bit. We look forward to seeing you. And again, things that I would never do.
Yeah.
It just makes me cringe if I were to do something like that. But however,
Yeah.
the software does it for you and puts it in a way people respond to the text messages. And one thing you have to remember on this is these people have already asked to be texted.
Yeah.
You're not reaching out to somebody who doesn't want what you have. They've filled out a form. They've asked you to text them. And so this automated system does that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned something about the promo portion. When it comes to, like, we talk to people, all the time about these digital track campaigns, Facebook ads, and when we talk to people, something that I find more increasingly throughout really this whole country. We work with churches. You're on the whole other side of the country than us, but we work with churches all around the country, and a lot of them's all the same. But when it comes to, I mean, a lot of them's all the same in this same mentality of outreach that I've noticed. And I'm not saying your church is like this, but I've found that a lot of churches don't have a strict actual budget for local outreach. I mean, apart from buying tracts and stuff like that, but they'll have like missions budgets, financially, support missions monthly and stuff. But I found a lot of churches they don't really have a budget for what they're going to spend on outreach.
I do
Because
not.
yeah, because we'll ask them questions, like, well, how much, what do y'all spend? What is y'all's budget to spend monthly on outreach? And, most of them say, well, we buy tracts throughout the year and stuff like that. And that is technically outreach, but they don't know it. Like a lot of churches don't have a strategic, we're going to spend money on this throughout the year for outreach. I mean, it doesn't have to be digital Facebook ads. It can be anything from, hey, we're going to put a monthly billboard on the side of the road in our town for $50 a month, or we're going to send out every door direct mails once a year, and that can be very expensive. But still, there's an idea of a budget of doing some kind of outreach through each community. And we talk to a lot of churches, they don't even have that. They don't have really an idea of what they're spending money on this year for outreach. That we talk to some churches, they don't even go out door knocking or have any outreach. Like I'll ask them, what do y'all do for outreach? We really don't do anything. And I'm just, like it's shocking, but the truth of the matter is that if a church, ain't going, a church ain't growing. And I've heard people say statements like this, and it scares me to death, Brother Nick, when they'll make statements like, you know, we're just kind of praying them in today, and I think I'm like, you're just praying them in, but there's just so much Bible word about, God gave the increase when Paul and Apollos watered and sowed the seed, but God giveth the increase. But he gave the increase upon what they was doing. So we've got to be doing something, and God will bless it. God will give the increase in it. And these campaigns, these Facebook ads, I'm sure y'all prayed for God to bless them. At the end of the day, this is just a tool. It's just a method. You still need the power of God to touch people's hearts, draw them to church. We still depend upon the Lord. This is not like a get growth quick scheme or anything. If God don't want them to work, your campaign won't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that you still need to pray and ask God to bless it and touch it. And, but it's a method and it's a tool, and you ought to budget for it and I'm not talking about Facebook ads. You don't want to run Facebook ads, that's fine, but you ought to budget to do some kind of outreach, in your community.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it takes money. So yeah, when you run Facebook ads, if you're watching this and you're saying, hey, we're going to reach out to Dalton and them about doing a Facebook ad, just know it costs money. It's not free. It takes money to do stuff. Like Facebook charges you to run ads. It's just
Yeah.
you've got to pay them. So, but
Right. And
anyways,
that's separate from the, I think I knew this, but I have a feeling that, some people reach out to you may not know this, that, the subscription fee to your service, doesn't include money put to Facebook, doesn't include money put to Google. You don't go through you for the Google anyways, but
oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. And yeah, that was. I'm glad you made that statement, because that is something that people do, they'll miss that sometimes, that difference there.
well,
But yeah, so
it's about managing expectations. And
yeah.
so, if you come in expecting everybody that, reaches out on your website is going to show up to church, you're going to be mad by the end of the week. That's not how it works. That's not how anything digital works.
Yeah,
Uh,
and a lot of people have this mentality. Well, we're going to put this plan a visit form on our website. We'll have people plan visits. They're not just going to go to your website and plan. 9 out of 10 times they don't. Every once in a while, you'll have someone pop in there. For the most
I've
part,
had,
you got to.
we've had one family on a non promotion page. We've had one family reach out to us outside of that. I should say, when we're not running a promotion or driving traffic to it, then we've only had one family that signed up. Otherwise, it's just, a lot of people, if you look at your analytics, people only go to your website for a few seconds. If they don't immediately see what they're looking for, they're off. Just like any website, just because somebody goes to a church website or church YouTube, doesn't mean they're going to stick around. You have to do something compelling in the first few seconds, otherwise you're going to lose them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Well, amen. Well, I've enjoyed this call. I appreciate your time getting on here with us, and sharing with everybody how these digital tracks are doing for your church. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the days ahead.
Let me tell you what we're doing, and then you can decide if you want to put some of this in the video. This may give some people some ideas. So we're going to continue out through 2024 what we've done the last 3 months. We have
Amen.
Vision Sunday, we have Super Sunday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, our church anniversary, Christmas in July, back to school promo. trunk or treat, Thanksgiving, and redoing Christmas again. So we're going to be using this program continually throughout the year. We've budgeted for it. We know what we're doing. And I would encourage you to do the same.
All right, perfect. Well, hey, I'm gonna end this recording, and but I appreciate it, man.